Hello students, how are you all? Hope all of you are well. Today we are going to discuss class 8 science chapter number 4 metals and nonmetals. In the previous video I had explained to you about corrosion, prevention of corrosion like galvanization, electroplating, greasing, painting, oiling. These were the process by which the corrosion can be prevented. If you have not watched that video, then please go it and just search on my channel class 8 science chapter number 4 corrosion, or directly class 8 science chapter number 4 by Sonu sir. I will come on the screen. You can go there and you can just search, and after that you will see about the corrosion and the prevention of corrosion I had explained. Today we are going to discuss about the uses of metals and uses of non-metals. As in the previous video I have already described you about, that was the last topic, but these two things were left, so this will be the last topic of today's, that uses of metals and uses of non-metals. First of all, you generally knows about the metals. Tell me some of the metals name, like aluminium, iron, copper, and many more metals are there. Similarly, if I talk about the non-metals, then oxygen, sulfur, chlorine, bromine, many more non-metals are there. But what are their real uses in their life? First of all, I would like to show you the table. In that table, just go through, just read it very carefully, and whatever I am explaining it, try to understand the uses of metals and uses of non-metals. After understanding about the uses of metals and non-metals, whatever the concept you are having, see, generally we all know about the uses of metals. If I talk about the gold, we are generally using in the ornaments, right? If I talk about the iron, especially we are using in the grill or windows grill, there we are using different. If I talk about the aluminium, we are generally using in the utensils. If I talk about the copper, we are generally using in the wires. So similarly, there are many more metals which are specially being used in the various directions. So all these things today we are going to discuss, and similarly we are going to discuss about the uses of non-metals also. So first of all, look at this table. After looking at this table, just think about this, that what I want to say to you. Got it? You can just look at this metals and the uses of this metals table. First one is iron. As the iron properties is soft, so it is hardness by making alloys. Iron property is soft, but when it alloys become, then it becomes hard. And what are the uses of irons? You can see here as it is written: to make machines, pipes, nails, storage tanks, railings, agricultural implements, and so on. Steel is used where greater strength is needed. So as we have seen about the iron, you can see the iron properties and iron uses. Now if I talk about the aluminium, you can see aluminium is a good conductor of heat and electricity. It is specially used to make overhead cables, cooking vessels, for the packing and wrapping food. Aluminium alloys are also used to make the bodies and engine parts of cars and aircrafts. Now let's come to the copper. Have you ever heard about the copper? Copper is also a good conductor of heat and electricity. It is specially used to make electrical wires and cables, coils in the electrical appliances, car radiators, and so on. So as you have seen the uses of copper, now we are talking about the zinc. Zinc is also a good conductor of electricity. So in the dry cells for galvanization to make alloys like brass. If now talk about the chromium, chromium especially is corrosion resistant. Remember this word, corrosion resistant means it does not allow to be corroded. So the chromium is specially used for corrosion resistant to electroplate iron and steel objects to make alloys. Now if we talk about the lead, lead is a good conductor of electricity. It is used to make some parts of car batteries to make the alloys like solder, which is specially used to make or used to join the metal together. Got it? So that was the uses of lead. Now if we talk about the mercury, it is good conductor of heat. It is especially being used in the thermometers and barometers. If I talk about the titanium, titanium light, tough, and corrosion resistant. It is especially used to make the bodies of spacecraft. Remember this word titanium. It is a very important metal. Nickel, nickel is hard, strong, and resist corrosion. It is especially used in electroplating to the metal alloys as a catalyst in many reactions. So as you have seen this metals uses table, if you want to take a screenshot, then please take a screenshot. After taking the screenshot of these metals, please remember that whatever the uses it written, what are their properties, you can use these properties and uses in the question answers. Got it? Now we will move towards the non-metal. So these were the uses of metal. Now we are moving towards the uses of non-metals. You can see this is the table of non-metal uses. So in the non-metals name you can see oxygen, hydrogen, chlorine, sulfur, nitrogen, carbon, helium, argon, neon, and what are their properties and what are their uses. You can see it very properly. If you are not able to see, then please take a screenshot and listen my video very carefully. So oxygen, it is a colorless and odorless and tasteless gas. Whenever, especially when you drink oxygen, what is, no, actually you can't see oxygen, so it is colorless. You can't taste the oxygen, odorless, tasteless, and you can't smell the oxygen, which type of gas is there in the oxygen. So oxygen does not have color, it does not have taste, it does not have smell. So oxygen is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. But as the life supporting gas in the hospitals, deep sea diving, and mountain climbing, in the combustion of fuels, to the manufacture of sulfuric acid and nitric acid. So oxygen is a very, very important gas. It is a non-metal. So you can see the uses of non-metal. First was oxygen, which is also known as pran vayu. Right now we are moving towards the hydrogen. Have you heard the word hydrogen? It is especially colorless, odorless, and tasteless. See, oxygen is also colorless, odorless, and tasteless. Similarly, hydrogen is also colorless, odorless, and tasteless. It is specially used to manufacture the ammonia, uses for fertilizers, to make vanaspati as a fuel. So you have seen here it's written, it is specially used to manufacture the ammonia, which is used to make fertilizers, to make vanaspati as a fuel. Now we are moving towards the chlorine. Have you seen this chlorine? What chlorine wants to say you? Chlorine is greenish yellow gas at the room temperature. Whenever you look at the chlorine, chlorine is greenish yellow gas at the room temperature. You can see here as it's showing very clearly. If I talk about the chlorine, chlorine is greenish yellow gas at room temperature. If I talk about the hydrogen, hydrogen is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. If I talk about the oxygen, oxygen is also colorless, odorless, and tasteless. After seeing this chlorine, have you ever thought what are the uses of chlorine? Chlorine, you can see here, as a water disinfect, as a bleaching agent. You can see it is used as a bleaching agent. So bleaching agent to manufacture of PVC and hydrochloric acid. See, you can just write this answer in your notebook. The uses of chlorine, if anybody will ask you, then you can write here. As a water disinfect, as a bleaching agent to manufacture PVC, that is called polyvinyl chloride, and hydrochloric acid. So as you have seen the uses of Cl means chlorine. As a Cl2, it is a greenish yellow gas at the room temperature. After getting the knowledge of chlorine, now we will move towards the new gas, that is sulfur. It's very, very, very new gas. The sulfur, have you heard about the sulfur? Sulfur's color is yellow solid. You might have seen in the chemistry laboratory sulfur solid state. So sulfur is a yellow solid. Which type of solid it is? Yellow. Now if I talk about the uses, it is specially used to manufacture the sulfuric acid and dyes. What do you understand by sulfuric acid and dyes? Means especially colors, and even you bathroom acids, you know, battery acids and bathroom acid. So to manufacture the sulfuric acid and dyes, to vulcanize rubber, convert sticky rubber into the hard and non-sticky rubbers by heating with the sulfur, as you have seen about the sulfur. So sulfur is yellow solid, and it is specially used to manufacture the sulfuric acid and dyes, to vulcanize the rubber, convert the sticky rubber into the hard non-sticky rubber by heating with the sulfur. Now if we are talking about the nitrogen, have you heard the word nitrogen? Very, very most or maximum percentage of gas which is specially available in the atmosphere, 78%, right? So nitrogen is non-reactive gas. Nitrogen generally do not react with any other thing, right? So now can you tell me what are the uses of this nitrogen? Especially it is used to manufacture ammonia, important for the growth of plants and animals. It is non-reactive gas, and so used to fill food package, to keep food fresh and fill empty spaces in the oil tankers. Have you ever eaten chips or any packed items? So in the packed items you will see that nitrogen gas are filled, especially they are filled because to keep the food fresh and fill empty spaces in oil tankers also. So especially it is used to manufacture ammonia and important for the growth of plants and animals, non-reactive gases, and so used to fill food packages to keep the food fresh and fill empty spaces in the oil tankers. Okay, now we are moving towards the carbon, the most important and abundant You can say this is the special non-metal which is specially very cosmetic also and very useful also. Have you heard the word carbon? You might have heard about the coal, right? But if here is carbon is black or dark gray solid. How is the physical look of carbon? Carbon is black or dark gray of solid. If I talk about the most or the hardest substance of the world, that is diamond, and diamond is made up of carbon. So what are the uses of carbon? You can see as here it is shown as a diamond in jewelry, in making cutting tools, as a graphite in pencil lead, as an electrode in cells using a lubricant. Carbon is as a fuel, as a charcoal. It is used to filters to purify water on air. Here it is written only this much, but the uses of carbon, there is one chemistry called organic chemistry, right? So it is 100% use of this carbon in our daily life. If we study organic chemistry, then ultimately we'll understand everything is made up of carbon only. Okay, so as you can see, it is black or dark gray color solid, and the uses as a diamond in jewelry and in making cutting tools, as graphite in pencil lead, and as electrode in cells, used as a lubricant. Carbon as in a fuel, as a charcoal. It is used in a filter to purify water or air. Now we are moving towards the next one is helium. Have you heard this word helium? Helium is non-reactive gas. You can see here it's written also helium, argon, neon. These three are non-reactive gas. These are, especially if I talk about, then these are inert gas. Okay, so this helium, He, argon, Ar, and neon, these three are non-reactive elements. Now let's read about the uses of these three. So you can see in this three, it's written very carefully. It is especially helium is to fill weather balloons. A mixture of helium and oxygen is used by deep sea divers to breathe under the water. See, whenever anybody is going to the deep sea, that time they requires oxygen, and that time they fill this helium, a mixture of helium and oxygen inside the balloon, and when they especially go for diving inside the seawater. Argon, if I talk about, so argon is especially used to fill the electric bulb to prevent the oxidation of the filament. In the bulb filaments you might have seen, so especially it is used for to fill electric bulbs to prevent the oxidation of the filament. And the last one, neon. Neon is a non-reactive which is specially used to light up advertisement signboards. As you have seen here, these was the uses of metals and the non-metals. After understanding the concepts of metal and non-metals, first of all I would like to inform you that we have completed our chapter. Now after completing the chapter, what we have studied, first of all about the metals and non-metals, you must understand each and every physical nature, physical characteristics. After that we have studied about the chemical characteristics, the reactions of the chemicals. After getting the reactions of the chemicals, we have studied about the corrosion, prevention of corrosion, and finally we have studied about the uses of metals and non-metals. I hope all of you have understand about this chapter, metals and non-metals. If you are still having any doubt, first of all go from the first part, second part, third part, and this is the fourth part of this chapter. So all the parts, just watch it very carefully. If you are still having any doubt regarding this chapter, then please drop your doubt into the comment box section of any videos. If you are having doubt, please drop that video's comment below that video. And if this video also, if you are having any comment, then please drop your doubt into the comment box section. Definitely I will solve it. And if you have liked this video, then don't forget to like and subscribe this video. Thanks for watching. You can share this video with your friends also, so they can also get benefit. Thank you very much.